Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Typical July heat, but abnormally low rainfall totals are putting most of us in moderate drought. We'll see who's effective and when the next rain chances will arrive.
For these two siblings, the unimaginable happened when they lost their brother after he was shot in the chest. Their interview coming right up.
All right, Victor, we're going to begin, though, with Operation Legend. And it has President Trump saying he plans to send federal agents here to Detroit to stop an uptick in violent crime. Topping our news today at 5, the president initially announced federal agents were headed to Kansas City, Chicago, and Albuquerque.
Well, now Detroit, Cleveland, and Milwaukee have been added to the list in the coming weeks. Our Mara McDonald is live at Detroit Police Headquarters with what the chief and others have to say about this. Mara, good evening.
Hi, Kimberly. And what they are saying is this, that the federal help that is on its way to Detroit has nothing to do with protests, protesters, or anything you see going on nationally in Portland. What it does have to do with is stopping gun crime. It is a continuation of the federal city partnership called Operation Relentless Pursuit, which started with AG William Barr back in 2019.
Chief James Craig and the mayor were both vocal about there not being a need for Homeland Security to deal with protesters in Detroit.
We made a decision early on that the bond between the Detroit Police Department and this community was strong enough that we could handle the protests ourselves.
But what's coming from the feds isn't what you see in Portland, where violent protests continue. Rather, it's an attempt to tamp down on the illegal gun crimes that are ramping up here.
It's no different to what we were engaged in when we stood with General Barr in 2019, December. No different. An enhancement, yes, it has nothing to do with protests.
In the last several days, we've had 3 murdered at a Coney Island, a man unloading his firearm at a Detroit gas station in broad daylight, and a 60-year-old woman gunned down in her home. The mayor says federal help in the form of more federal gun prosecutors or more ATF agents to assist in getting illegal firearms off Detroit streets would be helpful.
Let's be very, very clear about what this is and what this is not. This has nothing to do, and this is not anything to do with protesters or people protesting or federal troops coming in to Detroit. That is all baloney. This has everything to do with our continued efforts to fight violent crime, to go after gang members, to get people locked up who are pulling triggers, who are shooting people, and who are killing people in the city.
Back here live, President Trump has been roundly criticized by Democrats on Capitol Hill for the deployment of these federal agents. They question his motives. We're live at Detroit Police Headquarters. Kimberly Devin, back to you.
And so, Mara, do we know what this federal help is going to look like? I know you said it's not going to look like what we've seen in Portland, but what is it going to look like?
So the U.S. Attorney here in Detroit, Matthew Schneider, who you just heard from, says he expects to do something next week, I'm assuming a press conference, to detail that. But he says it's not just manpower, it's also federal monies to help backfill overtime here at DPD and things like that. We should have a better idea of all the components of this next week. Back to you.
Okay, Mara, thanks.
We have a notable rise to report in today's coronavirus numbers in the state. In the past 24 hours, 699 new cases have been confirmed. That is 176 more than yesterday. Along with that, 7 more Michiganders have lost their lives to the virus, too.
Now let's take a look at the overall trend with the 7-day rolling average on clickondetroit.com. And you can see it's back on the rise at an average of 587 cases per day in the state. Now to brand new information we're learning tonight into the shooting death of a 10-year-old in Warren. Orrin
Ball, better known as OJ, was killed inside the Warren Manor apartments. Tonight, a 15-year-old is in custody awaiting charges. Let's bring in Victor Williams, who's following this. Victor, I guess some are wondering if there's a possibility this 15-year-old will end up being charged as an adult in this case.
Well, that's exactly what the prosecutors are saying might happen. I was told that earlier by the police commissioner, Bill Dwyer, and this is really sad. But in the meantime, the siblings of this young boy, well, they're grieving too.
Was you never happy?
Hours later, and the pain of losing a sibling is still very fresh for 14-year-old Carnasia and 11-year-old Cardell.
I miss everything about him.
Their brother, 10-year-old Oren Boss, sometimes known as OJ, died after being shot in the chest in an apartment shooting that remains under investigation.
My cousin had woke up and then he saw my brother bleeding.
7 kids, including Carnation Cardell, along with the 17-year-old woman, were taken in for questioning. We're told that no parents were home when the fatal shot was fired.
My daddy, he was so sad. He was crying a lot. A lot of my family was crying.
Though the emotion may still be very raw, these young but strong children are already keeping OJ's legacy alive, holding up the same T-shirt they were all planning on wearing to match.
I just want to say that we love him. We're gonna miss him. Yeah.
Now we're told that Oren was a rising 5th grader, and tonight at 8 p.m. there will be a vigil for him at the same complex where he lost his life. Reporting live in Warren, Victor Williams, Local 4.
It's just an awful story. We'll continue to follow. All right, Victor. Now, we have seen plenty of heat so far this summer. We could use some rain.
Yeah, we really could. So let's get over to Ben. Parts of the area are now officially in a drought, Ben.
Yeah, a lot of the north and south zone, guys, are where some of those rainfall totals have been woefully under average. But as far as the temperatures go today, those have been pretty close to normal, at least at Metro Airport. We're at 84. Average this time of year is 83. But there are a lot of 70s out there, thanks in part to that north wind, which is drying out that humidity, at least temporarily. But things are going to change as we go into the weekend. Here are the weather impacts over the next 4 days. Next couple days, not a big impact on the weather. Partly cloudy tomorrow. We'll see that heat go up a little bit on Saturday, but the humidity comes back into play Sunday for a medium impact. And then thunderstorms finally in the forecast, but that's not until Monday. So we do have a dry stretch ahead of us. We'll look more at some of these rainfall totals, and when we can finally get some more sustained water in here that I know a lot of us need. It's all coming up in a few minutes, guys.
Okay, Ben, thank you. The path to get our children back to school, either in person or remotely, continues to get more complicated. Today, Ann Arbor schools became the latest district to say all classes in the fall will be remote.
But in a series of tweets, DPSCD Superintendent Nikolai Vitti says the Michigan legislature has no intention to fund that option or allow it unless it's done privately. The governor's Return to Learn task force focused on F2F, meaning face-to-face learning. So if school funding is going to be for in-person only, how are districts going to pay for it? Paula Tutman been working to get some answers. Paula?
For those school districts that have already declared full remote learning, that means no face-to-face learning come this fall, there is funding to pay for that, but only until September 30th. And that's only because they're still working within this year's school budget. The problem is, unless Lansing creates waivers for seat time, that's those 180 days or a minimum of 1,098 hours of mandatory in-class learning, without changing the laws to say that schools can be flexible, the funding stops.
We're very anxious for them to do that. This is a common sense issue.
Keep in mind, under the current law, even in-person learning can be affected because many schools are moving to shorter days, fewer hours in class, or fewer days in school to accommodate deep cleaning and distancing. Yet Lansing has yet to pass exemptions to the current required mandates.
Things are probably going to be okay. Some of the initial predictions for how bad things were going to be from our consensus revenue estimating conference in May, some of those predictions have not quite come true as bad as we expected.
I appreciate Mr. Miller's optimism. He's been great to work with, but we are not as confident that we can guarantee, that we can plan on anything right now.
Representative Aaron Miller is the chair of the subcommittee on school aid and the Department of Education within the Appropriations Committee.
Schools really are feeling out in the dark. They're trying to explore planning, not even knowing what some of those plans are going to do. Some of this will have to be done on the fly.
What does this mean? Well, it means that districts with a looming deadline of August 15th to complete their plans have to undercut their current budgets to plan for this year. It is the equivalent of walking blindly into a cave surrounded by flying objects and having no ability to see how to protect yourself to survive.
This year, we're literally sitting there with a $1.1 billion shortfall in the school aid fund, and there has been no decision in regards to how that may be filled for local school districts. And so if nothing happens, they're looking at a $700 per student reduction, the largest they've ever seen. And that issue has not been addressed.
To parents like Kendra.
Hey, buddy, do you miss school at all? Do you miss school? Yeah.
Who we met yesterday, who was excited to send one child to face-to-face learning. She can't really plan because her district can't fully plan for anything beyond September 30th. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Well, police arrested 20 summer school protesters on Detroit's west side this morning.
Yeah, police led protesters away from the ABC Transportation bus lot. Cars were also towed after police say they were used to block the buses from leaving. This is the second week of protests that we've seen over the safety of in-person summer school classes. After a lawsuit, as we've reported, a judge ruled all students have to be tested for coronavirus for those classes to continue. Well, they are the numbers that we rely on to see how we're doing in the fight against coronavirus.
Tonight, Dr. McGeorge is diving into the daily case counts to find out just how accurate those numbers really are.
Also, a carjacking at Somerset in Troy leads investigators all the way to Jackson. Sean?
Next on Local 4, big news from Attorney General Dana Nessel. She has agreed to reopen and re-examine the case of an officer-involved shooting in Shelby Township that left a man dead.
If criminal charges are warranted, then our office will charge and will handle the prosecution.
The officers involved were not charged. Tonight, we're asking the Attorney General, could charges against those officers be filed in the case?